of the podcast. We're bringing the fun. We're bringing the thunder. We are Funder. Flesh and blood down under. Who have we got today? Fluke?
I don't know.
It's me.
It's Kasai.
It's Kasai.
Flesh
Oh
and
my
blood.
god, it's me. It's Kasai. Yes.
Sahar.
Hello. My name is
Sa-
Sahar.
is that the right pronunciation?
Yes.
Awesome.
Saha's good. Like,
Very nice to have you.
yeah. It's nice to be here.
Sahar won the cosplay contest for the Sydney Calling,
Mm-hmm.
the Uprising world premiere, dressed as Kasai.
Yes.
I feel like I won that contest more than Sahar won.
Ooh.
We'll get into that story later.
That was good.
First of all, have you been, Tall Timmy? I hear you're a champion runner-up.
Been good. Unfortunately, though, young Ryan always seems to get the best of me.
He got you.
He's my kryptonite. That's been good. Been playing a lot of, we've all been playing a lot of Uprising Limited. Drafts been a bunch of fun. We've been getting deep into that, usually getting in, a few drafts every week, mixing things up. And we had our RTN up at Blood Rush Gaming last week. I managed to come in second, which was cool. That's a first for me.
Well, you qualified.
And yeah, definitely qualified. And we'll be running it back this weekend.
Which cold fall did you get?
I got fire.
Ah, man,
Yeah.
I want a Dromine. No one's selling me a Dromine. Sahai, how's your Flesh and Blood week been? Have you been playing?
I have been busy. I've been wanting to, but every time I get the chance to, it's like either work-related or just no. The weather is bad for you. You can't leave the house.
Well, I
'Cause,
mean,
like,
Sydney's flooding.
yeah, I had like down the road from me, there was like I have a roundabout like at the down of the street, and it's like got like this dip where it goes onto the main road, and it was flooded, and it's like don't leave. And I was like, okay, I wasn't planning much anyway, but okay, cool,
Fair.
can't do much.
So why don't we start with how you got into Flesh and Blood? Because I'm trying to remember where. I think we met at RC Crew, which is where all the massive Sydney Spikes play.
Yeah.
So tell us, how did you find out about Flesh and Blood? When was it?
So I think it was during COVID, like around lockdown time. I went to Good Games, I believe, and I picked up Lexi, and then my partner picked up Oldham, and then we tried the game out, and I didn't enjoy it at first.
The Blitz decks, the precons.
The small ones, yeah. I didn't enjoy it at first because like I didn't know anything about the game, and it was my first ever card game, and I just felt very like, no, this is too much. I can't get into it. And then like I think a few months later, I just asked, I was like, oh, where are those pretty cards again? And then saw them, played it again, and I fell in love with the game. And I was like, oh, it makes sense now, all right, cool. And we just kept playing. And then we went...
What changed between the first time you attempted to play it and that second time? What do you think was different?
I think when I first played, because I had previously played Magic like once, I didn't enjoy Magic as much as I thought I would because it was too much for me because it was like my first card game. And then I had that same idea when I was playing Fab. But then when I played it again, I completely forgot about it. So when I was playing it again, it was like, oh, it's a completely different game. And like I understand it. It's just kind of like, okay, attack for one. Go again. Because it wasn't too bad. It was like, okay, it's pretty simple. And
What did you play?
I played as Lexi. So
Okay.
it was pretty annoying for me because every time I'd play, against Oldham, it would be like a 10 dominate. And it's like, okay, well, now I just die. So it annoyed me when I first started playing. But now, like, as I keep going on, like, I've changed my deck around. Like, I've talked to Phil. So Phil's helped me a lot. So has Fu and a lot of others. And it's just like, now it's like, okay, I like the game. It's good. I've invested.
So you went to Good Games, you got the decks. How did you guys learn the rules? Was that through YouTube videos or?
We watched a few YouTube videos. I was like the one on YouTube that just explains like the small rulings and stuff. And also the sheet that it comes with. So we used that. And then I think we went to RC. We saw everybody there. And then we went to that weekend. What was it called?
Did you know anyone at RC Crew before you guys went there the first time?
We knew Lico because we saw Lico at like Narellan and stuff. So we met Lico, we met Lorenzo, and I'm blanking. There was another person there too. I think it was Alan, maybe?
Aaron?
Alan.
Okay.
And then we met them, and they were like, okay, go to RC. Everyone plays there usually. So we went there, we saw everybody, and it was like, oh, okay. So these are all the guys. Everybody's telling us they're sweaty, but they seem like normal people.
You know, for like very good players, it's a very friendly environment, that's for sure.
Like we were playing in the other store in Ashfield as well, but the more we played there, it just felt kind of dead. So we're like, we don't know where else to go. And then that's when it was like, oh, RC. And we're like, okay, we'll just go there. And we kept going there, and then we just kept playing the game even more. And then we saw everybody, like I said, at that weekend event. I forgot what it was called. Was it Nationals, I think?
I think that was the Battle Hardened or the qualifier for Nationals, maybe.
I think so, maybe.
Yeah.
And then we went to that, and that's where I met Phil. I just said he had very dapper-looking glasses, and he's like, yeah, I know, right? Then we just started talking.
Sounds like Phil.
Yeah.
Phil's our next week's guest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Like, Fu was like, he was upset about something, and I was like, oh, okay, this is just... And later on, I realized it's just a normal Fu. And I was like, all right, he's just normally like this. Yeah.
What? So you play Lexi?
Yeah.
Okay.
But now I think I might play Icelander.
Okay.
So that's what I'm looking into trying now.
Lexi's, I think Icelander's more fun. I think Lexi's just, there's a lot going on. Like, a lot of little triggers you have to remember.
There's like my Lexi, and then there's like Phil's Lexi. And that's like, oh, okay, that's a whole different...
With all the fusing and...
It's cool. Like, I see that. I'm like, wow, you can do so much with this character. Like, I feel like you give him a deck, and it's just crazy. But that's just Phil. Very analytic kind of guy.
So what do you most enjoy about Flesh and Blood? The game itself, the competitive nature, or the community, like meeting people, hanging out, going to these events?
At first, I was really like... So first, it was just, me and my partner sitting, in his room, just playing together. We're just trying to get better at the game. And then we started improving our decks and stuff. So that was more interesting for me because I'd never done that before. So for me, that was like, okay, I'm interested in this, and I'm interested in how the gameplay works because there's so many different characters. Then I was really nervous to meet other people because, like, I'm a girl, and, talking to some people, they're always like, you can't play games.
Who says that?
Name and shame. Name and shame.
Is it Kevin? Is it Kevin?
Definitely, yeah. Kevin. Terrible. Like, I get, like, the awkward... Do you know how to play the game? Are you sure? Do you need me to read the rules for you? And it's like, I've played the game enough where it's like, okay, I don't play as much as I should, but it's like, I know the basics.
No,
like,
you can play.
Yeah, like, I can play. I don't need somebody
You don't need advice when you play.
I don't need somebody to feed me information while I play. It's like the most annoying thing. But when I met everybody, like, at RC, they were like way more polite than I was expecting. And like, I wasn't, people weren't like bagging me for not knowing what I was doing or anything. And it was like, okay, these people are super nice. No one's being mean. I'll keep playing. And I think the only person that I'm actually like, oh no, I shouldn't play against is like Noah. And it's like, only because he picks on me.
He teases, yeah.
He's like, you sure you want to do that?
But he does that to all of us.
Yeah, he does that to me all the time.
It's just Noah.
Like, he definitely is just treating you like anyone else.
Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah. Like, he's just a bro. He's just a guy. And it's like, it's sweet. He's just a nice guy.
He's definitely a bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you did mention you'd played maybe a couple games of Magic, and I think I brought up on a pod a few weeks ago, in all the years I played Magic, I never paired into a female. I played in a lot of tournaments, big ones, small ones, everything in between. And then, I've played against you in an armory. I've, in New Jersey over the weekend, I think I paired into like 6 women. Like, what do you think it is about this game that females are more attracted to than, say, Magic?
I think it's just because when you first start the game, it doesn't feel complex because it's new. So it's like, okay, like with Magic, there's like a ton of different decks, a ton of different things you can do. But with Flesh and Blood, it's like, okay, these are your standard heroes. These are who you can go with. These are who you don't, like, you don't need to go with them. You can play as these people. And it's like, it's fun. It's like not complicated to the point where it's like daunting to try. Because, like, I don't try a lot of stuff because to me it's very daunting. But I tried Fab, and at first I was, like, very, like, oh, no, I don't think it's for me. tried it again, and I loved it. And it's like, I think it's like that with a lot of other people. Like, I saw Yuki Lee. I saw her playing, and I was like, oh my God, that's like the coolest thing. And I was like, wow, okay, if she can do it, why can't I do it? Like, why can't I like also play and stuff? So it was really cool. So seeing that, it was like, I'm pretty sure a lot of other women also see that and is like, yeah, I can also play. There's no stopping me from playing. But with Magic, I think it's more, you get the people that say, are you sure you can play? Do you need help? Do you need me to read this for you? And it's like, no, thank you. Just play.
Do you like the fact that, you've cosplayed as Kasai, your main is Lexi? Do you like the fact that there's a lot of really, nice female characters that you can play, heroes?
Yeah. That's like, for me, I chose Lexi because she was the prettiest to me. And I was like, okay, she's pretty, I'll pick her. And then it's like, from there, it's like, okay, cool. And I saw Icelander, like, she's gorgeous. And like Briar is so pretty. Like all the other characters is pretty as well. And all like the male characters are all appealing as well. So it's like none of them are bad. Like there's no bad character. Like even Genus has his charms. So it's like I'm pretty sure anybody would be fine to play all of them. And it's like, yeah, I think opposed to just playing as like a dragon or like a monster, it's more like, I guess that's why people also like Yu-Gi-Oh! Like Yu-Gi-Oh's like fluffy, pretty cards. And it's like, wow, pretty woman, I want to play that. So that's why I collect Yu-Gi-Oh cards. They're cute. So
okay, you collect Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yeah.
Like just like set collect, or just the cards that you like the look of, or
I go through the ones that I like the look of. So like the small anime girls or like the cute little animals. And I like collecting Melfies. There's like this fluffy animals, and they look really stupid. But
is that
really
the
nice.
name of the animal, Milfies?
It's like the name of like the class, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they just look really stupid. It's great. It's really good.
Oh, cool. I don't know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
I've never.
Oh, I think another reason why I kept going to RC was because Donna was also there. If you have met Donna.
She's behind the counter a lot,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yes.
And she was talking to me a lot about card games and telling me like, because like she also plays card games and she's a girl as well. She was just telling me like not to feel like that I can't do something. And then she played Yu-Gi-Oh. I believe she played it a bit competitively as well. So she was telling me like if anybody like says anything, obviously we're all here. Everybody at RC will say something, and everybody like when I was at when was it? When I was cosplaying, and I'd got a bit questionable like things. It never really got to me because it was like, okay, these aren't like real people. Like people wouldn't actually say this sort of stuff. It's just kind of a joke sort of thing, but it gets a bit odd sometimes, if that makes sense.
Well, let's get into that soon.
Yeah.
But first off, cosplaying, is this something that you'd done previously, or?
Yeah, so I've started, oh my God, it's been a long time, but I kind of like, because I grew up watching a lot of anime, pretty obvious, like anybody that sees my deck box, like it's just covered in anime girls. But like watching anime growing up, like I saw, oh my God, she's so pretty, I want to cosplay as her. And I think my first cosplay was like Zoro from One Piece. But like, I'm not sure if you guys know.
No idea.
Too old for that.
It's actually an old anime.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's been out since like, I think 1999.
Fair enough.
If that's old to you guys or not.
How old are we? Teenagers.
Yes.
Yeah, that would have been year 8.
It's too busy playing outdoors, to be honest.
Fair enough. So Zoro's like a guy, and I dressed up as like obviously the female counterpart, and it was like really cool. I went to like an anime convention dressed as him, and people took photos with me. It was really cool. And then from there on, I was like, oh my God, I want to keep doing this. And I've done like, other anime characters, and it's like I never thought I could do it with Fab, because it's like for me it feels really niche, and it's like I feel like it's very small in the sense that it's like no one is going to be like, oh my God, I know who that is. But going to the event, I was like, might as well. I have not seen a Kasai cosplay. And it's like, my name is Sahar, kind of like Sahara Desert person. I'll be Kasai.
It's close.
Yeah, so.
I think that's where the inspiration came from.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
You look pretty accurate.
Yeah, I'm brown.
Yeah.
So
I didn't say that.
I said it, it's fine.
Yeah. No, it's not that. Like you did, the detail was good.
It was really good.
I remembered making the cosplay, and I was like, oh my God, I was like stressing. It was like 2 days before the event, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's a Friday. I need to make all this." So I was,
So you're quite crafty. You know how to do this stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So I've been like, so a lot of my cosplays in general, like I've been making them myself. Like I think like for my Kasai cosplay, I made like the arm piece, like my dad helped me with the like a hood, because my sewing machine wasn't working, and he told me my stitching was bad, so he helped me. So thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So he
Crafty
did it.
dad.
Yeah. My dad is like, you know, your grandfather was a tailor. That's why I know everything. And I was like, well,
Whoa.
lucky you said that. I actually won the card.
So it was meant to be.
I know, right?
So what do your parents think about you winning?
They were
Do they
like,
know how much? We'll get into it, but do they know how much that card's worth?
I told them I won, and they're like, "Oh my god, what'd you get, a trophy?" I was like, "No, I got a card." They're like, "What?" They're like, "What?"
It's better than any trophy.
It's definitely better than a
And
trophy.
I told them about it, and they were like, "Oh my god, you're so good! Like how? What?" Like my mom, like she saw my cosplay, and she's like, you know, brown mom was like, "What? What are you wearing?" And I was like, "I'm going to a cosplay event." She was like, "Okay, come back in one piece," and I did with the card, which was crazy.
Not quite with the card,
Well, with an
because
email
you won and
confirmation
then
of
you
the
got,
card.
yes, they didn't have the tailor.
Yeah,
It had to get
They had
shipped.
to
I've got
print
it here.
Yeah,
Ooh,
they
there we
printed
go.
the card and then they sent it off to me.
So
That's really good.
we might as well do this while we're on the topic. Then we'll delve into some more detail.
Mm-hmm.
Saha, when she won, before she got the card, was saying, you know, what's this worth? I want to. What was it? You wanted to buy a car, move out, trying to
Yeah.
raise some money. It's been how long? A month?
Yeah.
It's been a month. She finally got it, but also we did finally find a buyer as well. Well, before I open it, here, I brought cash.
Oof.
Ooh.
You show the camera.
There we go.
Ooh,
Oh, yes. Shake it.
Wow, guys, look! It's
So
a
guys,
lot of McDonald's meals.
Although I'm paying,
Wow.
I'm buying it on behalf of someone in the US, actually.
Oh.
So they wanted it open on camera. They want me to take it down to PCG grading tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And obviously a good grade will even... It's someone who's only missing this card in the set.
In the set of what?
if it's
Of
worth a
all
bit more,
Flesh
I'd
and
like
Blood
some
cards. Of all Flesh and Blood.
compensation. Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I was doing a trade with him. So what I wanted to buy, because I'm a player more
Are you
than
going
a-
to are you going to disclose the amount or not?
We can in a second.
Okay, sure.
Wait, this is a lot thicker than I was expecting.
Yeah, it's in a pretty thick thing, and it comes sealed in a.
Okay, they've packaged this different to
Yeah.
what I was expecting. All right, so it's in between two top loaders, not just one, which is good because it probably protects a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But look at that.
Wow.
It's my first time seeing it as well. I've kept it in the.
Well, I'll take it out so you can see it properly.
oh, it's like the full. thing
Yeah,
in the
it's
back.
the
Oh, I
Marvel
see.
treatment, the Starvo treatment on the back. So this gentleman,
Just don't cut it, John.
I've done this before. Not with a tailor,
the
but
wrong
I've
way.
remember all the gold foils I play with? This is what they come like.
Yep.
So this gentleman, I asked him to get me a playset of the whole game, excluding legendaries, because I already own those. And I've got a sleeve ready for this thing. I might show it on camera while it's... it'll probably be the very last time it'll be out of its shell.
Jeez, that is gorgeous.
Yeah,
So
it's...
cute. Now it's
The
kinda
art
like-
is phenomenal. Like, it's got a tunic in the art, you know?
The
Yeah.
foiling's amazing.
It's
Even
so
from
pretty.
here, it pops.
Dude,
got a
this thing
corgi on
is
it as
this
well.
thing
It's
is
so
so
cute.
centered as well. It should grade quite well. I'll have a proper look with right lining. But what I was trying to buy was a player set of 3 of every card in the game, except for like Gorganian Tome and stuff.
For this person?
For me.
Oh, for you. Okay.
Yeah, and he's the only person I know that at the drop of a hat could actually make that happen.
So is that something you've recently purchased?
Yeah, but while I was talking to him, he was opening 25 cases of Uprising to sell the singles. And I go, oh, I want some Black Ash Wings and this and that. And he goes, do you want to trade rather than like do cash? Because international cash is annoying. You pay fees and stuff. And I go, yeah, I'd love to do a transaction where we don't exchange money at all. And he goes, well, I need a tailor. And I go, 1 second. You want to have a look?
Yes, please. Wow.
So before we get into more details of the event, this is a question. Okay, so
Would you like to look?
Sahar. Oh, yes, please. Thank you. I'll
No,
be
but-
very gentle.
Look, it's safe now.
Just bends it.
Oh my god!
Still
Don't
safe,
don't
right?
bend it. So what do you think it's worth? Well, you were in Jersey. Do you remember the
think
rumors there?
I think I
Yeah.
know what the first one sold for.
That was Catalina, right? Carolina.
Is that the girl
Carolina?
that did
Carolina.
Exude Confidence?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
god, her cosplay was
She's
so
great.
gorgeous. She's so gorgeous.
She's my Twitter entertainment for most of
I
the
know,
day.
right? So I just see what she tweets and I'm like,
Jeez,
same.
that is. I love how they foiled the.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's so gorgeous.
Look, that's one of the rarest cards in Fab that's like accessible. So I think the like XX hard to find or non-foils are the rarest.
And how cute's the corgi's
I know,
bum?
right?
Look at his
It's
little
just like
bum.
it's just laying
little
down.
bum.
Show the camera. They,
Corgi's bum.
Not
That's
on
so
the
cute.
OnlyFans.
A little fat little.
all right, let me
furry
take
bum.
that off before he does ruin it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, this sold for a little bit more than that, but it's about ballpark 2.7 US, 2.8 US,
Beautiful.
around 4,000 ish Australian.
So,
But I managed to. The way I made it happen was I bought 4,000 ish worth of cards off him.
Mm-hmm.
In exchange, I'm gonna grade this and ship him. That's how it worked out. Which is Sahar actually got better value that way than like a cash deal.
So
Yeah.
question then that sort of like leads me into a question when it, both of you feel free to chip in here because this transaction was between you two parties. Just say new Flesh and Blood player, cosplays very well, successful like yourself, wins Taylor, has this card worth quite a bit of money, wants to sell the card. Is there value in someone but doesn't know how to go about it or how to do it quite effectively? Do you think there's value partnering with someone or pairing up with someone experienced like in the secondary market like John or someone else to help facilitate that deal? How do you guys?
I think.
Well, tell us how it went for you because there were other people talking to you about the card.
I've had. So once I did say, like, I had, the photo of me was tweeted, like, oh my god, it's Kasai, the person who won. And I was like, oh my god, terrible photo of me, but cool, nice.
Wasn't Newson in that
Yeah,
photo?
it
Also a
was so
terrible
funny.
photo of him.
Oh my god, he anytime he messages me, he doesn't call me by my name.
He goes,
He's like,
Kasai.
Kasai. I'm like,
That's
okay.
classic.
But yeah, so when I got the card and knowing that I was going to get it, I didn't know what to do. And I had some people on like, Twitter or like I have a small Instagram and like they were messaging me like, oh, so would you like to, can I buy it off you? And they're like giving me this really like,
$200.
yeah,
So-
like they're like, it's like a cold foil, right? I'm like, I don't think it's like a legendary piece of equipment, but
No.
okay. And then that's when I was like, no, I don't think this is like the best way I should go about it because I'm not somebody that knows much about like cards as in like market price and the money stuff is like a separate thing. For me, it's like, oh, pretty card. I have pretty card. But then somebody else is like, that's my investment. That's something I want. And it's like, okay, who's the only person I know that does that? John. And then like,
That's not quite true. Noah will get offended.
oh yeah, Noah.
Noah's definitely probably has more than I do these days.
Like Noah, I know. But for me, Noah seems more like a community sort of person. And to me, you're like Mr. Worldwide, like Pippo. You're like everyone.
Well,
knows
I
you.
think now that this
Similar
transaction's
haircut.
done,
Yeah.
I can say this. I think for advice for anyone out there, don't if you're gonna get help from someone, try and pick someone who's not actually looking to buy it.
Yeah.
Because that buy partial thing or impartial thing is very important. So I was interested in buying it. But then when I found out there's Noah and there's a random on Twitter and there's randoms on Facebook, I just took a step back. Because also bidding against people, like I didn't want it bad enough to get in a bidding war, which you saw happens very quickly.
Yeah.
When you tell people it's not available anymore, they're like, well, how much did they offer? I'll give you more.
Yeah.
But that's kind of sneaky because people should just give their best offer on something like this. There's like 7 of these in the world. So
Is that the count at the moment? Currently about 7.
I can count them. There was 4 in Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And there were 4 in Jersey, 1 Vegas, 1 Sydney, 1 Taiwan. No, Madrid. That's 7.
And that's it so far.
Now, there'll probably be another 3 or 4 in Pro Tour Lille in August. By the way, I'm 99% sure there'll be a rainbow foil of this for the community version. So I think what they'll start doing is if you come as a cosplayer as a community member, the winner gets the cold foil. If you're a paid cosplayer or a professional, you'll get a cold foil if they invite you. Because the judge promo, that's the Marvel Draconic Judicator, is rainbow foil for the judges now. So I imagine if you want this card to play with, go get yourself one at the next event that hopefully when they start giving away. I don't know this for a fact. I'm assuming they'll do rainbow foil because it's a hero you can play.
Well, James did say he is looking at expanding the cosplay reward
that'd be
system.
a very cool way to do
He
it.
did say
That'd be
that.
so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then you got one that's a couple of $100 is worth keeping. A few $1,000s is like someone like who's trying to buy a car can't keep a few $1,000 card, like realistically doesn't want to, you know. Yeah, but it is tricky, Paul, because there's sharks out there.
Oh, yeah.
But there's also, you can't price it. Because one sold that we know of. It's not like 10 have sold. We know that one sold. And that sold on the spot. So this could have been worth 5 times more or 5 times less. A lot of the big collectors would only offer $500 US for it. Like big, like millionaire collectors would be like $500. But then this guy needs it for his collection. He goes, I'll just match the last one that sold. I got him up from his offer because it was a trade. But in essence, like any money you made above other people's offers is coming from my pocket, but I'm getting a good deal on my stuff. So and that's the biggest part is everyone got a good deal. You're happy.
Yes.
I'm very happy and he's happy. So the values are less important.
Yeah,
like if this sold for $10,000, but everyone's happy, there's no like victim or there's no one that got ripped off. Everyone's happy. Like if I got offered 10,000 and offered her 4, she'd be upset to find out. But in this deal,
it's just fair.
It's one card for 300-ish, no, 700-ish cards coming my way. That's how. So I'll buy that, but I don't want that. I want that, and it's a 3-way loop of transaction. But the good thing is we don't have to there's no money exchanging hands internationally, which makes it very easy.
That's really cool.
But also, congrats. Like
Yeah,
that's
well
not bad
done.
for a
Thank
day's
you.
work.
Yeah, well done.
Not a day,
very
however long
impressed.
you worked on the cosplay.
Yeah, very.
You do owe Justin a dinner or something.
Yeah,
But-
I know.
Buy him like a box of
Oh,
Uprising
I
or
know.
something.
I still have the swords.
Yeah.
They're like in my room. I've had them like I hang them up.
I mean, I know he doesn't care. He's great.
No, I know. He's like, oh, they're just whatever. And I'm like, they're not whatever. I won because of them.
Yeah.
Well, no, I actually won because.
Oh, yeah. Let's
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
this
how
story.
did you win,
Yeah,
Sahar?
talk us through the story.
So I was.
Because there was a bit of competition there, wasn't
yeah,
there?
Yeah, there was a Lexi.
Yeah, there was a Lexi. Tell us, do you remember exactly?
There was a Lexi, a Prism, a Katsu. I think there was a Phi that came later on. And
Budget Fi. Sorry.
and myself. So there wasn't. I thought there were going to be a lot more people showing up because like the way that they were saying like there's going to be 3-4 cosplayers coming in. I was like, there's going to be a group. Oh my god, that's going to be so cool. Where are they? And they never came. And I was like, oh, my dreams. But like I spent most of the day with your daughter.
Thank you. That made her day. That Sunday was her favourite.
She was a sweetheart.
She
She's a
still talks
sweetheart.
about. That's all she
Really?
talked. Yeah,
Oh
when
my
she knew you were
God.
coming on the podcast tonight, she was like, she wanted to come. To be honest,
Oh, she's so sweet.
yeah.
She was like talking to me because she was feeling very shy. She's like, my phone's going to die. I don't know what to do. And I was like, well, I'll sit with you and talk to you. But I couldn't sit down because I had the swords on my back. So I was like hovering, but it was all right. And then we were talking and then she didn't know who I was cosplaying. She didn't know anything about the game. So I was like explaining, what the card was, who like I'm dressed as and everything. She's like, wow, that's so cool. And I was like, well, do you want me to teach you how to play? And then she's like, yeah, but we just didn't get the chance to. Because, like a lot of people were coming up to me and they were saying, can I get a photo with you? And I was like, sure. There's no harm in it. But I felt bad because every time she was just standing by herself. But I was like, no, I'll be back. It's okay. But she was a sweetheart.
Yeah, thanks for that. It really made her weekend. That Sunday was very
She
special.
was sweet. And she was just talking about like her dog and how much she loved like the snack bars and stuff he brought. She was like, I don't know, it was cute. I was like, oh, look at her go.
So wholesome.
I know, right?
Yeah, and I'm so unwholesome. How does that work?
Look, we don't.
No, it was so funny when you were filling up your water bottle and then it's like, ow, and then it was like a hole
Can we
in
tell
it.
this story? Jeez, I wanted to forget about that.
Oh, it was so funny.
I haven't forgotten about it
So
because
funny.
I think I noticed it, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
you were both
we
there.
saw it. We were like,
Well, like, dude,
Your
there's a
body-
fountain.
So explain what was happening so they understand how.
so.
Do you
were-
remember the very start? No, before you were even around, Paul, we meet at the front, Paul and all of us, like, Team Salt people, I guess is who we are. And Paul's brought someone a playmat or something.
Yeah, I was selling a couple
sorry,
playmats.
like, some of the water spilt in my bag. And, like, he's pulling out these wet playmats. This was at the start of the day. This is like 8 o'clock in the morning, right? This is like before anything
I just
happened.
saw it was a bit of condensation off the water bottle or something.
So he's just handing out wet playmats.
Just airing them out.
Yeah. Like, not like just the bottom of them. Like, you know, they're not
Does
drenched.
anyone have a hairdryer?
And then obviously during the day, more stuff was wet
Yeah.
from your bag.
I was like, what the hell? Starting to get like little.
But then at the end of the day, like, this is after you won, like the end of the day, Paul pulls out his massive 2-liter bottle, puts it on the table, and there's this like single line of water jetting, like it's a pinhole, so it's like jetting
so
quite far. We're like, dude, what the heck?
What is happening?
He's like, oh, that's why everything's been wet all day.
No,
We're
but I
like,
didn't see that. Remember, I was filling it up.
Yeah, you filled it
'Cause it
up.
kept
and you-
empty.
You
so
filled it up. You put it on the table.
and stuff kept getting wet. Yeah.
You were complaining, like, I don't know why everything's going to... And there's just like this fountain just coming out.
Yeah.
But it was like so fine. Like it was
I
one
know,
jet line of
yeah.
water. It was
It
hilarious.
was like someone just like punctured
yeah,
a
just like a
hole.
little,
Yeah.
a little.
Somebody didn't want your day to go well.
Yeah, I just couldn't believe I was filling up this water bottle
Yeah.
every 5 minutes.
And wondering why his bag's wet all day.
Yeah.
Did you ruin any cards or you?
No, because that's the
lucky.
thing. It was such a small
Well, I feel
pinprick.
like if you put anything on that,
Yeah, it
it
would
stops
kinda-
shooting because it was
Yeah.
a very tiny. Like that would have
so
taken all day
funny.
to empty the bottle. It was hilarious.
It was so funny.
So let's sorry. That was,
Yeah, we'll go back to
Yeah,
cosplay.
we'll
I want
go
to.
back.
I want to hear about the
So-
cosplay.
So this was on the Sunday, last day.
Yeah, on the
Yep.
Sunday, and like the cosplay competition was supposed to be, I think, at like 2 or 1:30, 2 o'clock, and then I think it got delayed to like 3:30, 4, or something like that. And I came there at like 11 in my cosplay, and I was like, okay.
You were there early.
I was
We
there
were still
early.
playing.
Yeah, you guys were all playing, and I was like, guys, it's me, Kasai. Does anyone care? But there was like a few people that saw and was like, oh my god, and then they were taking photos with me, and it was cool. I like it. It was pretty cool. Then I
You
got.
should have charged for those
I know,
photos, you know.
I know. That's what Phil told me to do.
Sorry, just another stupid question from a cosplay noob. Are you with the cosplaying? Are you meant to be walking around role playing? Are you in theme?
I mean,
Are you meant to? How does
Well,
it actually
first of all,
work?
she's there for the fan competition, so I don't think she's supposed to do anything.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just as a
Yeah.
general question.
so for me, I was just there like cosplaying, but there were some people that wanted to take like dramatic photos, so they'd want me to like walk and then like take a photo like that.
Right.
So like Steph had taken a few photos like that on the day, which was pretty cool. Which
Steph is from the tournament
Yeah.
organizer. Yeah.
and then I guess sometimes a lot of times you would be like, if it's like a really big, or if it's a one person and a lot of people are taking photos, then you would be, you know, in character. But for me, it was just like, okay, rocked up 11 a.m. Guys, where's the water? I was like tired, but it's like 11 a.m. I was already tired, but it was good. It was good fun. I got to see everybody, and everybody was like, that's Sahar? I was like, no, it's your mum. Who else is it going to be? like what?
Pull the sword out.
I see. I didn't know you were cosplaying. Like
Oh, really?
I day two'd the call and was very focused.
Yeah,
Then like
yeah.
only noticed you towards the end of the day. I'm like, oh wow, like
I didn't know you were cosplaying until I saw you in
Yeah.
the cosplay either. Yeah, I had no
Because
idea.
the thing is, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't know who else was cosplaying. I was like, oh, I could ask, but because I wanted to do like a group thing, I wanted to be like, oh, we could all like dress as like specific cards and do something. Like for me, I want to do, you know, young Lexi and have somebody, you know, my partner maybe, as like the little kid that's like, let's go. Like that.
that'd be just on his knees, but with shoes on his knees.
Go! Like that's something like I want to do something like that, like just like goofy cosplay. I thought it was like super cool, and I was like, oh, Kasai, and then I kept doing like Dune references. I was like,
Yeah.
look guys, I'm like a sand person. It was cool. But yeah, so a lot of people do acting character. I really don't know how Kasai would act, so I'm just like,
Yeah, it's different when it's like an anime,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like when the
Yeah.
person has like lines or an
Yeah.
accent, whatever. But I think
Kasai
with-
just kind of stands there like that.
I think Flesh and Blood, if they ever do any sort of animated, it'd be good if it grows big
Yeah.
enough to have like a TV
That'd
show.
be pretty cool.
or like,
Oh, hell yeah.
even if they just
Like
do
these, like,
trailers, like
shorts.
the new set has a trailer. It's huge for games.
Oh, they'll get to that.
I know.
100%. There'll be trailers very
to
soon.
me, Flesh and Blood is on a tangent again, but Flesh and Blood has enough lore and story they could. It's not just a random hot girl.
And
It's like
it's great
everyone's backstory is there. They just have to flesh it
Yeah.
out. Like they clearly have the writing chops.
with the book. And when you like flick through that and you see the cards, it makes sense.
Yes.
Because you're like, oh, this piece is from this timeline.
Yeah.
And this is who this is and this is who that is. And it's like, I've seen a few of like the other, I guess, like not heroes or like classes. And it's like, you see that and it's like, oh my God, this is exciting. What's going to be next? And
Well, even the fact that like Valda was in art and then
Yeah.
Valda's a hero.
yeah.
There's a lot of that kind of stuff that will come.
Like for me, I hope the guy that's on the Mangle card becomes a
The
hero.
big giant metal
Yeah.
guy.
Like oh my God.
Oh, you're here today. You got to remind me to look for that playmat. She keeps asking me for a Mangle playmat. I don't know if I have one, but check while you're
Yeah,
here.
Like I don't know. Something about that art is like, wow,
Yeah.
cool.
So how did the contest go? What, like it was very late, like 3 hours
Oh
late.
my God, yeah, it was late. I was like asking Noah, I was like, what's happening? And he's like, I don't know, man.
That's right. They were waiting for the judges to finish to judge it.
Yeah, so how did that work? Who actually judged it? It was
I-
Noah and...
It was Noah, Steph, and Newson, I believe.
Okay.
I thought, I honestly thought it was going to be everybody like doing their own like voting thing. I thought it was going to be like, 4 boxes and people just...
That would have been cool.
Yeah, and people just write like anonymously who they would want to vote for. And I feel like that would have kept it like... Because, look, I feel like people thought like I might have had like a bit of a bias because I know Noah. And it's like, I know that's not the case because Noah told me afterwards. And I was like, okay, Noah, thanks, bro. But
That's right. They were being fair.
yeah, it was
more
very
than fair.
fair.
Like
It was
they
very
were,
fair.
Yeah.
Because Newsom was telling me like they had it, like he had some sort of criteria he was looking at.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. It's also less pressure, less intimidating. If like
Yeah.
you're there during the day and then fans can go pick up a little ballot thing, fill it in and throw it in a box. That's
Yeah.
a cool idea.
So just to clarify, just again, because I'm a dummy, the time at the judging happens is at that time. So you parade through, you take
They
your
take some
photo,
photos.
Yeah.
and
There's
that's
like a
when
little
you're being
interview
judged.
So
thing.
the way it
Yeah.
was, like the way it was set up is like all of us were on the side, and then one by one we'd go in, we'd pose, we'd say why we cosplayed them or why we like the character, and then we'd take another like I don't know like a dramatic photo, and then it would be the next person, and so we kept doing that, and then I was so nervous, and it got to my turn, and I was standing there, and I was like, Kasai is cool. I don't play her, but she's cool. And then
That's right. You said you played Lexi, and the cosplayer before you was
Yeah.
Lexi.
I was like, I don't play Kasai. I actually play Lexi, the other girl. It was like, her cosplay was so cool. I loved her. I loved the bow.
I think it came down to you two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's when like so previously, context, I wanted to ask if John had a like copper token card because I was going to put them on my belt or put them in my glove or put them in my sleeve. I didn't know what I was going to do. And then John was like, hold that thought. Ran to his bag, fumbled around, and he's like, oh, I thought I had more, but I have one. He's like one copper coin.
Because I had all my American coins,
Yeah.
like the pennies and
Yeah.
stuff.
Right, okay.
And
They're
he was
worth
like, "Here's a
nothing,
penny."
but they're
Like,
cool.
here's
For
one.
counters on armor.
Oh, so you use them.
No, but that's what they're for, yeah.
Right.
I have my cool metal counters. But I was like, wait, I remember there being a lot more coppers, but I
Yeah.
think I gave them to my nephews. There was one copper one left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got it. And then how did you tell me to take it out? Just like have it in my hand or something
Yeah, I
like that?
said, no, but you were doing you did the glove thing to your partner, I think, because you had gloves on. You took the glove off, put the coin in your hand.
Put the glove on. I was like, I did that really like, stupid gimmick where like
Yeah.
pull my finger, and I went up to
and they pull the
my
glove off, and then there's a
And
copper.
it's like they look really sus. Like, what the what? And then you pull it off, and you see like the copper coin, and it's like, oh, it's my copper token. Wow.
It's Kasai.
Yeah, it's Kasai. So
No, that was really clever.
yeah.
That
so
was
Thank you. I appreciate it.
round of applause for John.
No, look, you had that. Listen, she wanted like the cold 4 coppers because I have like 20 in my bag. But I figured let's not damage cards. A real
Yeah,
copper coin. In hindsight, if you keep that cosplay, have a little bag of copper coins.
Oh
We
my
should
God,
get you
yeah.
some copper coins.
Oh, that'd be so
Because
good.
that would be sick. Hey,
Yeah.
I'll get some Fluke and box copper coins
that'd be
done.
so
You just
cool.
hand them out to people.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Like that would.
This is my bribe. Here you go,
Well,
guys.
but that's like Kasai's thing, right?
Yeah. And it
Make
was
some
like,
coppers.
what's it called? And then in the middle of it, like nervously, like fumbling around, I went up to Noah and I was like, pull my glove. And he was like, what? I was like, just pull it, bro. Just do it.
Yeah, he had no idea what was
he
going
was
on.
so confused. I was like, what? So he pulled it and he saw it. He was like, bro. He was like, what? What is this? And he's like, oh, you're smart. I was like, well, it's my copper token. Here you go, bro. And then I put it back on and then I said, yes, it's Kasai. And then that's when we took photos. And then that's when they did, I think after me it was Prism. And then there was I think it was like a 10-minute thing where they were judging. They were all talking amongst each other. And
Yeah, there was a bit of delay, wasn't there?
Yeah. And then after that.
Deliberation.
They were like thinking, and I was like, I genuinely thought the Lexi was going to get it because hers cosplay was stunning. She was so gorgeous. And then I saw, and even the Katsu's one was cool. Like his one was very like authentic. It was really nice. And then they were like, oh, it's Kasai. I was like, me? What? And then I was like super shocked and I was happy, but I was like, how much is this card worth? So it's like the first thing that went through my head. I was like,
That's a good question.
Is it worth something? Like I thought it was like $200.
I wish it was $200 because I'd own it because I want to play it.
Like
it's just too expensive to go buy just to play UPF.
Is it kind of like Shiana in this sense, or is hers a bit?
No, it's just very rare. Like they're only look. The best player in the world can't cosplay. Do you know what I mean? Like in the grand scheme of things, you could be the best player in the world and win the Pro Tour, but you couldn't win that.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
Yeah.
So you actually have to befriend a cosplayer. Like the way I tried to win one was I contacted Chalice immediately when I found out about the thing. I said, I'll fly you to Jersey and back. Give me the tailor. Because I figured it would equal the same amount, which I was right. It was about $3,000. But she just didn't have time. She had a cosplay thing in Japan. So it's the same thing. I think she got confirmed to go to Lille. Like the idea is you try and book their ticket for them, or that's the way I was trying to do it. But there's like 7 of them in the world.
I think it was just
like
cool.
there's 400 cold foil hearts.
Because at first, like when I was told I got it, two thoughts went through my head. It was like, oh, how much is this worth? And it was like, do I really want to sell it? Like, if I open it and I look at it, am I going to willingly want to give it away? Like I look at it and I'm like,
that's what I mean. The value's so high, it's different. Like if
Yeah.
it was a $200 card, you'd keep it even though you probably would.
But it's
love
also
to have
sentimental. Like you
For
won
sure,
that
yeah.
competition.
It was like,
you know,
it's like, it's not the first, well, for me, it was like the first one where it was like recognized and it was like, whoa, like I went onto the website and I saw my name.
You're on the
there, and
website,
I was
yeah.
like, oh my God, crazy. Like it was so cool. It just feels like very like surreal. Like it's like, this didn't happen. No way. But it did. And it's like crazy. And it's like, it just makes me want to cosplay more because it's like, okay, who's next? Oh, do Lexi with the little guy. You know, it's like, oh my God, that'd be super cool.
so
I think there's also some logic in like keeping that Kasai cosplay around.
Yeah, I
'Cause
still
I've
have
seen
it.
a few
Yeah.
Lexis and Prisms and Dories, but Kasai, you're right. Like I haven't seen
a Kasai.
Yeah,
that was my question. When it comes, okay, so you've done the competition. Do you preserve the costume or do you recycle it into another cosplay? How do cosplayers generally do it?
So it really depends. Well, for myself at least, there are a lot of elements that I can still use, like I guess day to day or in my other cosplays. Like for Kasai, I had these black boots that I wore that day that actually made my left foot go numb. Don't know how that happened, but it's fine now. But like, it was really like a staple piece. So I have that. I can use that for day to day, and then on top of that, I can use that for any other cosplay. Right, so I can use that for Azalea, say I cosplay her. And it's like, it's not something that's like impossible not to try. And it's like, I still keep my cosplays. I know a lot of other people, they don't, because a lot of theirs is like, they wear it on the day, but it's fragile and it breaks. And it's like, I'm not
it depends on how they make it, right?
Yeah. And it's like, I'm not going to use it again. I'm just going to get rid of it. Like so Justin made me those swords. Typically, like for me, I keep them. I like keeping them. I like having them for like sentimental value. But a lot of people just get rid of them because they're like,
especially if they end up with like 50 costumes worth.
yeah.
Imagine like how much stuff. And there's a lot of stuff that gets built with foam that pretty much, I think Carolina like her exude swords got damaged in transit, like they were foam. It's not really
I see.
fixable, like they're one-offs. Yeah. Even
it's
the
just stuff
LSS
like that.
official ones, the 3D printed ones, they broke.
That's
So
like
it
that.
has a lot to do. No, but it has a lot to do with how
Yeah.
well you build it. Are you building it to last, or are you building it to?
And like you said, like traveling with the cosplay is also a big factor.
Yeah.
So say I brought those swords overseas, they would get checked like a million times.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if they'd let them go through because
No,
although
they
are
would.
wood, it's just like it would be a little more harder.
Yeah, it's probably a no.
Yeah.
But you could probably ship them. My advice to me was probably ship it before you go. Put it in a box in the
Ship
mail.
them, put it somewhere where you know it'll be safe.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Lexi is, in your eyes for another cos. Any other?
I'd like to try Lexi, Azalea. I really like Azalea. She's like really pretty. Plus, I have like a lot of the elements for it already because I have like the stuff with my Kasai also works with Azalea. So it's like, oh, she has like a cross strap. I have the black cross strap. I'm actually wearing it as a belt. So it's like stuff like that. I guess another one that I wanted to try just to try was like Genus. Like I saw some guy do the
He
Genus
won.
cosplay.
That's who won it.
And
was
it was
good.
it was
Yeah.
so cool. I was like, oh my god!
And he
I
was
like,
handing stuff out.
oh really?
Yeah, he was
Oh
handing
my
little
God,
trinkets
that's
out and
so
stuff.
Cool. Oh, cracked baubles. Oh, that'd be amazing. And
Yeah.
like I see that and I'm like, oh okay, I could do like a really dodgy old M. That'd be so fun.
I like the gender bender stuff. I want to see a female Bravo turn up.
Oh my god, yes.
Like with the big
yes.
Anothos. But
That's
like
the first person like that I thought of
Yeah.
wanting to do. I was like, oh my god.
you could do Bravo
I'd love to do Bravo.
or Starvo.
Oh my
Go
god.
full
yes.
glamour mode.
I'd so do that. That'd
Yeah.
be so fun.
Reverse drag.
Oh my god, it'd be amazing.
I reckon even cosplaying as Taylor would be
But
sweet.
that's
God.
coming. Someone's
Or someone
really?
doing that.
Like what I'm saying is
100%
100%
it's
someone
gonna
is
happen.
going to
It just
Yeah.
looks so cool. And
Yeah.
imagine that. And then
I want to see
With
a
the corgi,
yeah,
100% you
I wanna
gotta
see
come
with the corgi
um,
and the tunic.
like another one, like
yes.
card wise.
You just have someone in a green suit wearing the tunic.
Like
to
I
pose.
think, what is it like?
You could be the
card-wise?
tunic
Oh yeah,
because you're tall,
Yeah, wear
right?
the
So you-
Like shock charmers.
Yes.
I would love to.
have you
do.
seen the full art?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's-
She's gorgeous.
So
yeah.
pretty. Like that's my favorite card in the game. That one and Code of Frost.
See, that's less recognizable. It would look insane.
But we
like-
don't know who that character is.
No,
yet,
but
do
there
we?
is like you see the full face
Yeah.
and everything in the full art.
She's
Yeah.
so pretty, and it's like, oh my god, woman, so gorgeous. And it's like,
So tell us, we got you for a little while longer. We're not female in the gaming circle, so and I think like, I don't. Neither of us are awkward around girls either, but I imagine. Because you told me a few little snippets about
yeah.
the calling
Oh,
with
yeah.
you. Like you were dressed up, you looked amazing,
thank you.
but you're also maybe like one of 10 girls in the room.
yeah,
And you're not specifically sitting and playing. You're like walking around
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
attention, whether on purpose or not.
it was a thing.
You're in costume.
Yeah.
How was that experience? And maybe like for the people listening, because I'll tell you why. The last stream I did, I had a guy in my chat. He's 16. He was making comments about like, there's no way you'll get a girlfriend. He's just a gamer. And we're like all pitched in to give him some advice. I find most people that have ever treated you awkwardly, if they have, just need advice more than it's malicious. Like most,
Yeah, of
it's
course.
not malice. So did anything weird happen? And then what advice would you give people coming up to a cosplayer at an event? What do you want to see?
I think it's like, it's more like photo stuff. Okay, you
Okay.
want to take a photo, ask for my permission. Like, don't just shove a camera in my
Don't
face.
assume.
Yeah, and if I look busy, assume I'm busy. Don't like I was taking a phone call. I know, like I think one of my parents called me, and then somebody was like just standing there, like hovering, and I was like, I see you. Just give me a second. I'm sorry. I just need to check if everything's okay. And I think like there was one person that I had talked to that asked me to they knelt, like they were kneeling on the ground and they wanted a photo, and it was like,
It's a bit creepy.
it was a bit much because they were like, "Oh yeah, behead me, Kasai." And I was like,
right, okay.
And I was like,
Kill me, goddess.
yeah, and I was like, I was like, sure, but I think this
You should have hit him really hard. If I had a sword and someone's like, I'll give you a whack.
It was very odd because it's like it's not the first time. Obviously, like I've cosplayed before, so I've gotten experiences like that. But it's like it was a bit different because I didn't like. For me, Flesh and Blood doesn't seem like a community where it's like a Reddit place. You know, it doesn't seem like incels. But then I don't want to say incels.
There's always a couple.
Yeah, because like incels is a very strong word because when you think that, you think of the neck beard, the top hat.
That's like mass shooter
right?
type comment. Yeah.
And like during the time where I was just taking photos, it was just like the odd, oh my God, like I can pay you off if I give you like these, like the copper, the cold foil cards. And it's like, why would you say that? Why do you think this is acceptable? Like, would you say this around with your mum here? No, don't. Like,
Pay you off what? Sorry, what?
it was kind of like,
It's like innuendo.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah. Ooh. And to me, it was
It's a
like
bit freaky.
It was a bit odd. Like, it doesn't get to me because I know it's just them being awkward. And I know that it's a thing because I know.
Really?
You know,
Is it a thing?
it's a thing.
Okay.
It's like I've played across people before, like guys that have been like, would not give me eye contact. It's like, no eye contact, no talking, just, okay, yeah, okay, cool.
Look, that's what I mean. Like there's definitely the inexperienced card game player who just doesn't have experience with girls for whatever reason, age, whatever. But then there's like the shock value. I saw this on YouTube type bullshit.
Yeah.
I think it probably wouldn't hurt because Noah watches this. Maybe even if the event organizers just explain to, like, there's a big difference between I'm getting paid, like, you know, you go to events and there's like the show girls, like you go to a car event, there's girls getting paid like a butt ton of money to stand and look hot near cars. That's one thing. They're literally, their job is to take photos with you in the car.
Yeah.
And then there's Sahar who paid to make her cosplay.
Yeah.
To come in with a boyfriend and other people.
To chill.
Have
a good time.
And maybe win a contest. There's a bit of a difference, and maybe the TO should at least announce that, guys, cosplay competitions today, these guys are volunteers. Do not ask them for photos. Like,
they're community members.
They're not
expect
paid photos.
Promo girl.
Yeah.
Because I think that would, like, I can see why someone who goes to like anime expos and stuff and booth girls, like, it's a big difference because booth girls get paid.
Yeah.
So their job is literally to be nice to you. They're modeling. While Sahar's there.
What's a booth girl? What?
Like if you go to an anime expo or something, right?
I haven't been.
So
like, think about it this way: if Flesh and Blood
cosplayer.
was at a Comic-Con,
like an adult expo? Is that what you mean?
like a gaming expo,
Oh, okay.
right? But if
Yeah.
Flesh and Blood, But you know how Flesh and Blood had a booth?
Yeah, yes.
If they paid Sahar $35 an hour to stand there at their booth as a character from the game, we'd have a different conversation.
Yeah,
Because her job is now as a professional, she has to be nice and take photos
photos,
with everybody because
everything.
she's literally getting paid for it. Or if she was charging for photos. But it's very different if she's just there on her own merit and she paid for, like,
Yeah, I understand.
she literally owes you nothing. Like, your ticket didn't pay for her cosplay. Nothing. Like, it's different. But I can understand why someone might assume because you're in costume that's like it's a normal expectation.
And maybe a bit of entitlement
Again,
they might
I think people of our age and life experience would never approach a girl costume or no costume, just assume. But it probably goes a little way for a TO to go, guys, these are volunteers from the community, be respectful, and ask permission before taking photos or whatever. Or to be honest, they should say, offer them some money if you want to take a photo to help them pay for their cosplay. Because that's how I see it too. You can go, like in New York, people stop you in costume and they charge you to take a photo. Not that I did. But that's the whole point, right? If you put the effort in.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't have, but...
I would have, like, I was just there to just chill, have a good time.
Yeah. Well, you don't want that mired by anyone.
Yeah, and it's like, it was nice, like, I'm not saying, no, don't come up to me, don't ask for photos. Like, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but asking is asking.
But it's like, ask, but like, don't assume or just be like, okay, yes, you're here because you're cosplaying. You have to take a photo with me. And it's like, at that point, it's a bit not, like, I don't want to be there.
Okay, so just so I can get even a better understanding, these negative sort of interactions, would you say that was 10%, 20%, 50% of total interactions? Like, just so I can get an
Name and
understanding.
shame, Sahar. We don't mind.
Oh, I couldn't name and shame. I don't even know
Like, was the
what it is.
overall vibe
Noah?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, no.
comfortable and fine, and this was just a, like 10% a bit, how you going, or was it like a big deal? Was it like 50%, 40%?
I think it was like a 20%.
Oh wow, okay, that's a
Yeah.
big
That's
number.
too much.
Yeah, that's too
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
For
Like 1
me,
in 5.
Like
Yeah,
it was.
that's a bit annoying.
It was
So, but let's just be clear here. Most people ignored you. As in, most people didn't come up to you, is what we're saying.
most people were like. Almost everybody there would have said something like
Yeah,
compliments and stuff.
But the amount of bad
they
interactions were
wouldn't
from the 20 people that might have come
Yeah,
up to you
yeah,
and said,
yeah.
"Can I take a photo?"
Yeah.
But if
2 of those or 5
if
of
one
those
in
were probably
five, if 1 in 5's
that came up
that's
and
not
interacted
good,
with you.
it is
Yeah.
something that TOs
No, but all
should
I'm saying
say
is
then.
it's not 20% of
Yeah.
the 300 people in the room.
Yeah.
It was 20% of the interactions that
Like-
actually came
yeah,
up
like
and
there's-
yeah.
Like think about it. It's a massive group of people, and it's like to me, it was. I expected it. Like I knew going in, me cosplaying, I know like. I know, like Phil called me the whole day. Oh, Rule 34 Kasai. That was my nickname for the day. I was fine. I didn't care, right?
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, oh, between friends, it's cool, right? The whole idea is cool. But if I'm not friends with you,
Yeah.
or if I don't know you, don't do weird innuendo stuff, or like don't do weird things because it doesn't make anybody feel comfortable. It doesn't make me feel comfortable. It makes you feel embarrassed after you've said it, and it's just kind of like I don't want to bag people because I know people don't have that experience sometimes, but it's like just be mindful. That's all it is. It's just take a step back, assess the situation, and then just go about it. Wow, it's like a WHS.
Or you could just give him a real good serve straight back at him.
I think the thing is like I'm too nice for that. Like I don't want to be mean to anybody. I don't want to tell people, no, this is wrong. Don't be like this. Like I couldn't do
sometimes
that.
it needs that, but it's also not
Yeah.
your responsibility.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't have to deal with any of it.
Yeah.
I think it's to me it's somewhat more of a TO thing.
A lot
I
of it's
feel like-
etiquette as well. Like
Yeah,
just
yeah.
people knowing the etiquette. Don't take a photo unless you ask. Like that's just
Yeah, yeah.
etiquette, right? That's
Yeah,
just,
but it's what she's saying too is the expectation, like of the whether it's demanding or just maybe inappropriate.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can I please using your like these are just simple things, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
some people
can I
don't.
please take a photo?
Yeah.
Like I had, there was another girl there. Oh, I didn't grab her name, but she was telling me like about her rabbits and everything, and how her partner really liked like Kasai, and like I got photos with them, and for me that was like okay, good. Like I talked to these people, they're amazing people, they're super sweet, and she was just feeling shy, and then I took a photo with her. Like I took a photo with your daughter. Like she was. Oh my god, she was so sweet about it.
Yeah, she
came-
sent all her friends those photos.
she
She
came
loved
up
them.
to me after. She was like, "Can we take a selfie with it later?" And I was like, "Sure, anything. I don't mind." Like she's cool. Like she's sweet. Like things like that. I think for me, it's fine to an extent. But yeah, I don't want to sit there and say no. Don't ask, but just ask politely.
No, yeah. I mean, you are there in costume. You're expecting. I mean, you probably want to take photos with
Yeah,
people
yeah,
to a
yeah.
point.
I
Like
like
you
taking
want to
photos,
see
yeah.
yourself tagged in like on
it's
Insta.
cool.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, people like my hard work.
Everyone
and
wants to
effort.
be appreciated, just
Yeah.
respectfully.
Yeah,
It's not that hard. Respect, you know.
and I think
Manners go
Yep.
a long way.
Please
Yeah.
and thank you.
Yeah. I was more happy to cosplay while I was there because I knew there were other females there too. I did talk to a few of them, like the other Lexi and that other, I forgot her name. She was such a sweetheart. And, your daughter was there too. And it was like, okay, there are girls here and I feel like I should do this. Like, I feel like I can do this. Much opposed of, oh my God, should I do this? I'm super nervous. I'm going to be the only girl. I'm too scared. Oh my God, I can't. Like, if that was the case, I don't think I would have cosplayed. But because they were that, although it was like a handful or like, a hand count, there were other girls there and it was like, we all just kind of knew. Like, we all looked at each other, knew what was happening during the day. And it was like, okay, yeah, we know what's happening. And it was just good. And I felt comfortable being there because I knew I wasn't like the only girl there. And it was good, like being, with my partner or being with, John or you and all of the other guys that I knew from, RC and stuff. I knew I wasn't being looked at in like a wrong way. It was just, people were there just appreciating my cosplay. Like they'll see my cosplay, not like me.
I was going to say that before. There's part of it's like dehumanizing or objectifying. I think when you're in a costume, like I think guys maybe feel a little bit more comfortable coming up to because you're not just a girl, you're like a character. So there's like a suspension of reality.
A lot of the guys
but unfortunately, you also see some true colors when people do that, where like you're just a creep. Like I'm an actual person wearing a costume. Like not, you can't just. I don't know. Like I know like no one went like too overboard either.
No, of course. If anybody did, I would have said something.
Oh, but you could have told any of us too. And like Noah well, and he was head judging the thing.
Yeah,
so
of course.
Noah wasn't ever
like,
gonna get
what. He'd be like, where?
He would have kicked someone out of the building for sure.
He would have gone like SpongeBob, like cave mode, kind of what's happening sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, like moving forward, obviously, good experience. You won.
Yeah.
You'll probably want to do this again. You're saying,
of course.
Lexi, like, what's the timeline to make another costume? Like, if you're saying, I'm going to do Lexi, like, what sort of lead time would you give yourself?
Well, for Lexi, I think like weapons and stuff wise, I would contact like Justin about it. But making her cosplay, well, for me, it took me 2 days to make Kasai.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I put it to the last minute.
Show off.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. I put it to the last minute and I was like...
So good.
It's okay. Yeah, I did it while I was playing Switch. It's fine.
No, I was so busy that week. I had my exams and like my final exams. And then I had 2 days left and I was like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. And I was like, I have nothing better to do. And I just made the cosplay and it was like done. And I was like happy with it. And I was like, good. The only thing I wasn't happy with was the wig because it was too big for my head. So it kind of looked like an egg, but it was fine. That's kind of it. But it's like, it depends. I think for Lexi, because of her dress, I think it might take like, a week. This is my time frame. Like for me, it would take me a week.
Are you going to cosplay for nationals? Which one is that? It'll be. Is it Sydney or is it Melbourne?
We don't know.
We're assuming Melbourne.
I'm assuming Melbourne, and I'm assuming probably October.
Oh, okay.
September, October.
See, this is where, if it was me, I'd contact whoever you were talking to at LSS about your promo and go, hey, is there an official spot now that I've won?
Oh, okay.
Because I'd love to build a cosplay, but I don't want to spend 2 weeks building unless I'm invited. Because that should guarantee you the promo. And then you can actually like get your flights and stuff made.
Because that would be my other thing I was going to say. How about like it would be, I'm not saying it'd be a bit weird, but just say you didn't do that, right? And just say Nationals was in Sydney. And just say you're like, right, I'm going to go kill it, crush it. Going to do Lexi. It's in October. I've got heaps of time. I'm going to go there. And this time there's a few more people. Okay, this time maybe there's 12 people. But you've just won one this year. And do you think like that would be in the judge's mind that hell
that's why I'm saying
now
maybe contact them directly and say, hey, I've won. Like I'd like to come in.
And I don't.
And that's when you'd be like, I'd like to be there officially for the 3 days. They're doing that at Pro Tour, but if it's like a $200 flight, they might be happy to pay your flight and a hotel and back to have like.
And then that doesn't, even
though
you'd win it on your own merits, possibly, it just takes that little bit of
I think it's like
awkwardness out of the whole thing.
That makes a lot of sense because I was thinking about that. I was like, okay, what if I do go again? It's going to be in their minds. I don't think I would win. And it's
yes
to
and
me,
no. There'll be completely different people judging it. So unless they remember,
like,
do you know what I mean?
And I think
I've probably
they wouldn't know.
I would feel bad if I won it again.
Why feel bad?
Because
if you're better, you're better.
Oh, it just makes me feel bad because it's like I feel like I'm taking another chance from somebody else.
Sure, that's the thing. Do you fly around, say, like Australia, New Zealand, and Southeast Asia, scooping up these tailors, which maybe you could?
But again, because Flesh and Blood system is giving them as if when you're a judge, you get judge rewards. the cosplayers are getting these. If
Yeah.
she's recognized as a winner now, it feels like on your resume you can say, look, I can
Guys,
cosplay
I won
as Kasai,
Kasai.
the one you guys acknowledged that was the best on the day. You'll tweak it, improve it, or you do a new one. But I feel like it's maybe you're in a position because you won.
As much as I love cosplay, so I would still go. Maybe if it's is it a 2-day event, 3-day event,
2 or 3,
two or 3? Like for me, if it's like that sort of incentive, I could have 2 cosplays. I could be like, oh, Friday, Saturday I'm someone else, and Sunday I'm somebody else, and like to me that's what I would like to do. But if I were cosplaying again, I don't know if I would want to enter the competition again, and it's because
I think as a different cosplay you should, because it's a different cosplay. Yeah.
I think I might. But if it's Kasai again, I wouldn't, unless it's like refined to like peak.
Sure.
I wouldn't like go in again because it's like, okay, I don't want people to have that at the back of their mind, like, oh, she's already won, she's here again.
Has any cosplayers been commissioned to go to Singapore?
I don't know.
I don't. But you wouldn't know because they'd be local.
Okay.
It's unlikely they're gonna
have.
Obviously, we know Pro Tour they're doing it.
They'd probably have a fan competition at Singapore, but we don't know.
But that's something I was gonna bring up. Fab Twitter has like the cosplay girls. They all interact. I don't think they're all local to each other. They just all know each other.
I think they have like, I kind of want to be like in that group. Like I see it and I'm like, oh my God, they're so cool. It's like, when you see like a whole group of friends and you're like, oh, I wish that could be me. But it's like,
it is you. You're just not on Twitter often enough.
That's so true. Like I see, what's her name? The girl that did Exude Confidence. Like I messaged her.
Little Uzi.
Yeah, Little Uzi Squad.
Yeah. I didn't say the squirt word.
I would say.
I think it's hilarious.
I said it on the first
I
episode.
don't even know what that stands for.
Oh, it's for a rapper. His name is Lil Uzi Vert, but she changed it to Lil Uzi. Like,
makes sense.
Squirt. Like,
yeah.
To me, I saw that and I was like, oh my God, I love her. It's amazing. And I see, like, sometimes I refresh my phone and I get like an odd tweet. It's like, oh, I sent this to my mom or something, and it's like this really like what? It's like chaotic energy that I love in my life. And
well, what I was gonna suggest is both from like the dealing with some interactions as a female and as a cosplayer, you're a rare breed in Fab anyway. Mm-hmm. I would suggest contacting the people you did meet and having that little group chat where partially you're planning and helping each other, but also for like, because there's always like safety. I'm saying safety. I'm not talking about comfort. Like if there's 2 other girls that you met at Sydney that'll be in Melbourne cosplaying, you're going to be way more in than that maybe going, I don't want to be the only one going. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's, I think, important because like in our play group, we have the same faces all the time, and it makes it, we can go to any store that's brand new and we recognize people. Well, for you, it's if you're going to be involved constantly, it maybe helps to like know, and encourage people who didn't win, especially if you're like actually swapping tips or like getting Justin to help someone else with some crafting. It could be a.
What was it? I think the biggest thing that I feel like they should have at events is like a small cosplay booth, with like hot glue guns, like bobby pins, safety pins, like a small sewing machine. Like I feel something like that would help as well.
Yeah, you do it. Suggest it.
Yeah.
And they might just jump behind and go, you know what, we'll get you there.
Yeah.
And we'll send all the cosplayers to talk to you and organize it, and you're not competing, you're going to be in cosplay. It'd be great.
To me, like that's perfectly fine. Because the thing is, I would much rather help somebody feel more confident and happy in their cosplay and how their day went than them complaining that their sword broke or like something broke and they felt like that ruined their chances. Because it's the worst feeling when something doesn't go right and you feel like that's the reason why you lost. And I'm pretty sure everybody's experienced that when they played the game too. So it's just that kind of thing. It's like when you
brought the wrong equipment,
it's like, oh my God. It's like, every time I play against Kano.
Well, you've got a movie to go see. I saw it today, by the way.
How was it?
I loved it.
You did?
But I love that brainless Marvel entertainment. We're talking about Thor, by the way. It's a bit maybe more cheesy than I'd want it to. It was great. It was. We took the kids. We did the daybed thing.
Yeah. Oh, the big daybed.
Yeah. Did you know you can book a daybed to watch a movie in now?
No.
George Street, they pulled out all the front rows and you can lie down on a big leather bed.
Like a bed?
A bed.
A bed bed.
Jeez, I feel like I'd have to get the UV light out to make sure the bed's bloody clean.
It's not clean.
No, it's not.
No, you can tell it's not clean.
God, do I bring my own sheets?
Honestly.
Look, I've gone once with a girl, and the people were undercovers, and that's fucking weird.
Well, they bring their own covers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if you bring a sheet, you put it over the bed. Like, I don't understand why you and your girlfriend like under the sheets.
Like, the thing is, like,
It's
everybody
still
knows.
public,
It's like
and you're in the front. Like, I can see you.
We can see the top
Nothing
of
weird
your
was
head.
happening. It's just weird to see people in public put like a blanket around them. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
Look, there's popcorn and crap on them anyway, but it's just comfortable. I mean, the seats are no cleaner, Paul.
Yes.
I wouldn't take a UV light for your own
No,
sanity.
don't take that for
Just
your
stream it at home, Paul. Don't even go.
Don't bother. But
No, it's good. It's very entertaining.
I'm excited
It's very
to see
entertaining.
it because it's very different from the previous movies from what I've seen so far.
Yeah. It's very good value.
So you're going to be playing in any RTNs or any
Yeah, when are you playing
armories?
next?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm free.
You
this
drafted with us once, right? Did you?
once or twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm free this Friday if anything's happening.
Come to Gosford. We carpool it.
Okay.
He's been.
Yeah.
It's fun up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
We pretty much have 2 carfuls now if everyone
Yeah,
comes.
well, I'm bringing up a few new players, at least 2 new players.
Awesome.
Oh, that's so good.
One's played Flesh and Blood once, the other one hasn't played at all.
Well, let's make it a big one.
Yeah.
Like if your car's sort of full, we can carpool and decide when to go.
Yeah.
We don't have to go too early.
Is there anything happening Thursday, like after 5:00?
Yeah, Cardboard Cafe, CC tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right. I
That-
could be there.
yeah, that's awesome. Also, if you want a deck, I've got a full blinged out Cold 4 Dromai. Like, no joke.
and that
doesn't
reminds
shock
me,
at all.
sorry to interject, that reminds me, because the first time I met you guys was at Cardboard Cafe.
You met
and
them
you,
first.
and you were
Yeah.
playing Vouder, and you showed me the altars. So plug your altars,
Oh,
because they are
yeah.
freaking awesome.
Oh my god, I forgot.
The shadow, what are they called?
Yeah, she
Shadow
really is
boxes? Yeah.
crafty. That's right. Those altars are awesome.
You know what? I
Yeah.
haven't showed my Dory on camera yet.
Yes, you have.
When I first got it.
I
Yeah.
saw it. I
And
was
you
like,
let me feature your work in one of my
I saw
videos.
them. Right
Yeah.
now.
So can people actually commission you for any of this stuff? By the way,
Pardon?
can people
Yes, of
commission you?
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where should they find you as well?
Yeah, what do you do?
So-
Where do they find you?
Obviously on Facebook. I'm active there like all the time because I'm in.
Like your personal account?
Yeah, my personal
Okay.
account's fine.
I'll
so
link
that's
that. Yep.
just my name. Then like I have my Instagram, which is Burnished Altars. That one I can also give you. That one has a few of the ones I've made.
Awesome.
Right now I'm working, well, for myself at least, or I'm not sure. I'm going to make an Icelander. And because I think she's gorgeous. And
Do you want to like do a shadow box with the Marvel?
oh my God, that's so cool.
Do $1,000 shadow box.
I'd cry, but like I just like cut it a little. Oh no.
Now, what's crazy about those is they mostly have print line damage on them.
Oh,
So I
really?
think
Oh, yeah,
I might
they
be able
do.
to source some cheap because they have this
Yeah.
massive
There's
line down
massive
them.
lines on them. Oh my
There
God, that'd
clearly
be
is
so
a
cool.
print run of them with a line on it.
Right, I haven't seen them.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't looked at them in
So you do
detail.
cosplay and you do altars. I'll link them below, guys. If you want to
Yes.
get in touch
And
with
your
Sahar.
Twitter?
My Twitter is not Sunako.
Yeah.
It's my stream handle. as
When
well.
when we post the episode on Twitter, I'll tag all the other cosplayers and say Sahar wants to be in your group, and then she'll be on her way.
Yay! I've also been thinking of streaming on Twitch because I've been wanting to make the altars on Twitch.
Oh, sick!
Yeah. So
That's cool.
yeah. It's just like I'm just trying to figure out a time because I'm just crazy. Things are crazy.
Well, when you do that, link us. We'll definitely promote
yeah,
it.
of course.
Anything?
Yeah.
Finishing thoughts? Last thoughts?
Last thoughts are, I think that's a great idea what you said about like mentoring others. Like
Yeah,
that's
of
what your
course.
passion is. And yeah, I'd love to see the cosplay scene grow
I just
here.
love to help people.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes. Like when I was talking to one of the girls from Melbourne, she told me she didn't cosplay because she was feeling very shy and like, oh, I'm one of the only girls. I don't, I feel like I couldn't do it. And I was like, what?
That's
Yes,
why
you
I
can.
think you could easily be that person.
Yeah, I'd love
And
to.
we are like Australian fab YouTubers, us and Hayden to a point, and we just promote it. No, but I'm serious because if Hayden will and Paul and I say, look, this is the group. Join it if you want to cosplay, and you're like the admin, and you help, and you take the glue gun to it. Like people would love that, and I think you'd
I'd
get a
love
much bigger turnout if it's a little bit more organized, minus prizing. But then if LSS sees that, they're also more likely to go, guys, like we got 20 cosplayers at the last event. Let's do this for them all. You know what I mean? It'd be cool. It'd
And
be cool for sure.
Yeah, just thanks because we're funder, Flesh and Blood Down Under. Like part of the mission of the podcast is to, champion the local community and show the faces of our Sydney community. And, you are part of the community, very much so. And, yeah, we love having you here. So thanks heaps, Sahar.
And before anyone asks, she did offer to come in cosplay. I said no. For her to be comfortable. But she might next time. Maybe if she has something
you'll
cool
come
to
back
show off.
for sure.
Yeah. I'd love to.
Awesome.
Yeah. Why wouldn't I?
Sweet.
We'll do a recap after the next time she wins a Taylor.
Yep.
No, next time I coach somebody and they win the Taylor.
Even
Guys,
better.
So this is what you have
I
to
think
do.
that's more rewarding. I think
Yeah.
if you built a cosplay that won,
I'd
would
love
nearly
to
feel
just
better
come
than
see
wearing
it.
it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's
Go
it. That's
find
it for us. We're at 299 subscribers as a post in this video, so hopefully we can get to 300. And
Yeah, too easy. And next week we have Phil McKay.
who?
Okay, how can I sum Phil up? Well,
Let's
Phil-
just let people.
He's a sweetheart. He's got
Phil's a
an
great
interesting
guy,
style.
and Phil's number one fan is Phil. So
I think-
you'll enjoy
Phil
him.
actually is bringing on some very spicy content to show off
Look,
as well.
he's a very smart person. He has a very unique brain. He's extremely articulate, unlike
he's
me,
amazing.
and very intelligent. And he has a lot of things he wants to share on this podcast. So next
Yeah.
Wednesday is going to be good. Plus, he loves joking around too,
Oh my
which is
God.
great.
If you guys have never seen Phil, you can look at his photos online. He's wearing this giant blue hat. It's like twinkling.
Yeah,
It's from
he's a powerful
Disneyland.
wizard.
Yeah, he is.
All right, guys, we're going to end it there. Let's go to a movie, but thanks for watching and see you next week.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.